Hey everyone, my name's James, and on this week's episode of MusicBiz News, we're going to be talking about TikTok, Snapchat, and what's going on with Sofar Sounds. First up this week, TikTok owner ByteDance is reportedly planning to launch its own music streaming service before the end of 2019. The as-of-yet unnamed streaming service would be first launched in developing countries where the other competitors have not yet scaled. According to a report from Bloomberg, ByteDance has already secured licensing rights from two of India's largest record labels, but it has not received licensing rights with Warner, Sony, or Universal, and those are the big three here in the United States. The reason for this is that the big three want more money from their deal with ByteDance's app TikTok. TikTok has received over 1 billion downloads worldwide, and it is quickly becoming a major discovery source. The big three labels are only interested in working with ByteDance if they can also renegotiate the terms of their deal with TikTok. How this will affect the global rollout of ByteDance's planned service remains to be seen, but it seems likely that a new competitor will enter the streaming market before the end of the year. In other news related to the big three, Snap Inc., the company behind Snapchat, is allegedly in talks with major labels to expand the use of music in its flagship app. According to a report from the Wall Street Journal, the conversations have been ongoing for weeks but recently intensified. If an agreement is reached, Snap Inc. will be prevented from launching their own rival streaming service. Instead, what's most likely is that Snapchat will begin allowing users to add music to their disappearing posts to friends, as well as their public story updates. This change is probably a necessity for Snap at this point, who has been feeling a lot of pressure from the rising popularity of Instagram stories as well as ByteDance's TikTok. In fact, one employee at Snapchat told the Wall Street Journal, for social media apps, music content is a necessity at this point. Our final story this week involves Sofar Sounds, a 10-year-old music startup from London which recently announced that it had raised $25 million in funding. Now, if you're unfamiliar with the company, Sofar Sounds is an alternative concert experience. Instead of going to a bar late at night or to a crowded music festival filled with lots of noise and sound and lights, you can pay $10 to $15 to go to a stranger's house and watch an up-and-coming artist perform a stripped-down set with a small group of people. Now, this is an ideal setting in which to experience live music, but the company has also come under a lot of criticism this week for allegedly failing to pay artists a livable wage. According to a report posted on TechCrunch, the average performer for a Sofar Sound set makes about $100 for a 25 to 30-minute performance, and that means a 5-person band only makes about $20 per person for that performance. It's obviously not something that they can live on, and it's not something you can build a tour around. But the company's CEO, Jim Lucchesi, says that that's not really what the company was meant to do. In fact, he goes so far as to say that a performance with Sofar Sounds is not right for everybody. He views what the company does as a discovery spotlight, which increases the chances that artists will make more money in the future by helping to expose them to a new audience. As part of performing at Sofar Sounds, artists do receive a high-quality video recording of their set, which can be shared on social media and through whatever channels you choose. Performers like Billie Eilish have been a part of Sofar Sounds, and given her recent round of success in the world, it's easy to understand why more and more artists are taking an interest in the company. But as some have complained, it seems that the company is forgetting the key part of what they do: paying musicians. Musicians need to make money. It's that simple, and until the company is able to sort out how much it pays artists and why it pays them that rate, there's going to be a lot more criticism to follow. Now, the CEO did state that in shows outside the United States, artists do tend to make more money. And if there's a promotion tied into the set, like a recent campaign ran with the film release of Bohemian Rhapsody, artists can make up to $1,500 for performing with Sofar Sounds. But again, that is far from the norm. Most performers are making $100 or less. The people that host the shows, they get nothing. And the people who promote the events, they also get nothing, which means Sofar Sounds is often walking away with $1,100 to $1,600 per performance. The company claims it needs that money in order to cover costs, but its transparency with all of that has been limited up to this point. Where that goes from here is anybody's guess, but with $25 million, we hope that Sofar Sounds puts that money into supporting musicians. Now, that's all the news that we have this week, but I do want to encourage you to hit the subscribe button down below because we're going to be back each and every Friday with updates from throughout the music industry. You can also check out our other video series, MusicBiz 101, to learn a little bit about how this industry works and how you can become a part of it. Now, until next time, my name's James Shotwell, and I hope that you have a great weekend, and more importantly, take care of yourself. because you deserve it.